Omni-Man versus Bardock. Considering Bardock was the first legendary Super Saiyan or of myth of legend, I don't know if that's canon or not, but if Bardock can go Super Saiyan, I'm definitely giving it to Bardock. But if he's regular Bardock before the planet blew up, I'm definitely giving it to Omni-Man, because Omni-Man, them Viltrumites are no joke. The thing that killed the Viltrumites is a disease. So basically, I gotta give it to Omni-Man. But if Bardock is going Super Saiyan, it's Bardock.
We going higher and higher, higher, until we on top.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Omni-Man versus Bardock,
the ostracized Viltrumite and the doomed Saiyan.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I said, if you guys haven't yet, watch the how far Invincible gets Gauntlet against all of Dragon Ball. So basically, it's a video where I'm reacting to an analysis of Invincible being placed from all the situations from Dragon Ball going up to Super. It explains this very well already. So it just depends on how strong Bardock is considered. So that's my guess.
Omni-Man, Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all manner of threats. And then, in a single day, it all went horribly wrong.
Why Omni-Man? How Omni-Man? Who Omni-Man?
Who indeed? Champion of Earth, best-selling author J.K. Simmons, yet it was all a charade, with his murderous rampage only brought to a halt thanks to his own son.
It all starts with his home planet, Viltrum, which I hear is a totally lovely utopia.
Through brutal mortal combat.
With a K! Or, wait, no, that came later.
Viltrumites are among the most...
It says Nolan. It says Nolan Grayson Omni-Man. It says 2,000 plus years, 6'2", 250 pounds, heir to Viltrumite's Emperor Argyle. Oh, I didn't know that. I said, spoilers, guys. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. It says heir to Viltrumite Emperor Argyle. Likes Mark, Debbie, Riding, and Bugs.
Powerful beings.
Bugs is hilarious.
In the universe, even more so after they purged the weaker members of their species. As a vanguard of the Viltrumite Empire, Omni-Man infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial assimilation.
Which should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers and
he's him.
Basically invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week. Thraxa is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take, so a minimum of 2 galaxies. Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum Galaxy, which is over 2.7 million light-years away. Reaching it in under 1 week means Omni-Man must have flown over 142 million times faster than light.
Sheesh.
Oh, and Viltrumite?
That's what I'm saying. That Viltrumite speed feat is crazy.
It can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the whole way. And it's not like he was in a rush. He was on a soul-searching trip, contemplating the significance of smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is
Think, Mark.
why I'm never having kids.
You're missing out. But according to another Viltrumite, Thetis, a bunch of other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion
Holy
times
shit.
faster than light.
You don't really need to rush anyway. The older a Viltrumite gets, the slower they age.
According to the Invincible Handbook, Nolan is over 2,000 years old. And regardless of age, Viltrumites don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed for that back when my daughter was born.
Well, you would have to be a Viltrumite first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can...
It says, smart atoms remember their normal states in relation to their environment and can be encoded to react to changes in that environment. For example, atoms in a muscle can ensure that the molecules behave normally even under extreme forces, or atoms in the air can be forced to maintain their relative positions, thus acting like an impenetrable wall.
Effectively recall certain states of being regardless of their present environment, reacting to changes at an atomic...
Conquest smart atoms resisted attacks from Adam Eve, who can alter matter on an atomic level. So then how were they able to be killed by the Scourge virus?
Level to perform the impossible.
Yeah, like surviving your intestines getting ripped out, or even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once. Ugh, only a Viltrumite could pull off something that disturbing.
Nolan is incredibly tough, but if he faces superior forces, his smart atoms can adjust to make him even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites are considered invincible.
Most weapons in the universe can't even scratch a Viltrumite like him.
Even a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Speaking of planets, he's strong enough to shatter one by flying straight through it. A planet so big it has a whole ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be in order to disperse orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support.
It says Earth-sized planets could only sustain such a ring temporarily, while Viltrum's ring existed for thousands of years.
Such a ring, meaning this one must be much larger.
Isn't Viltrum's? Yeah. Well, I said the fact of the matter is this is where we are caught up in the new Invincible episode. So if you guys haven't been watching the newest season of Invincible, this is all explained to us, or it's being explained to us. That probably explains why, if you haven't seen the new Invincible, spoilers upcoming, but if you haven't seen the new season, Adam Eve's powers are well, they're not working properly, but the way that they're supposed to. But it's because she's pregnant. So I believe that the baby's DNA, the Viltrumite DNA, is mixing with hers, and it's messing up her capabilities. So she'll be part Viltrumite just based off the fact that the baby is connected to her through the umbilical cord. So that's what my thought is. And the DNA for the Viltrumites are so pure or whatever, which is why Mark is almost a full-grown Viltrum, even though he has human blood in him.
And don't get me started on how the ring is actually made up of dead bodies, because, spoilers, just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for
I said, yeah, I said, nah, I said, new season. They're explaining all this in the new season, guys. Season 4, Invincible.
you, this planet also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles. Comparing this to the planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth.
Or it was before.
Okay, it says feats. It says escaped the black hole, redirected the Texas-sized asteroid, destroyed Viltrum, flew between galaxies in under a week, slaughtered the Guardians of the Globe, can do Fortnite dances with the best of them, defeated Invincible, Alan the Alien, and Speed Racer.
Or, you know, kablam.
Now, Omni-Man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitched frequency, which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
But his real weakness turned out to be, you guessed it, fatherhood. Thanks to his son Mark, Nolan began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife, who's a bug. The bug lady, he banged a bug.
Why, Omni-Man? How, Omni-Man?
I said, because he's a freak. I said, Omni-Man's a freak.
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was lecturing to Mark about how insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent.
It's not. I said, it's to repopulate his dying planet, as exposed to us in, you guessed it, Season 4 of Invincible. Watch Season 4 Invincible.
It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed, Omni-Man.
I said, that was the spoiler I just gave y'all. Y'all better watch that new Invincible. It's so much stuff explained, man.
In the far reaches of the cosmos laid a world with a people like no
Monkeys!
other.
I'm sorry.
Born and raised to do just one thing: fight.
The Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by, King Vegeta. Well, narcissist much.
Exactly. Their pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock! He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude, and if he goes apeshit, you're totally screwed. And guess what? He's father of Goku.
Oh wow, I never would have guessed.
What a curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets.
Okay, it says, look, if they don't give Bardock Super Saiyan, he's losing.
They wiped out every living thing, leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away. Bardock was an asshole. Well, until he wasn't.
Bardock's story has evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from.
Including one where he's a brilliant scientist.
But only one is considered officially canon. Bardock's demeanor began to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Gine, and had two sons, Raditz and Kakarot.
No, Bardock didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his? It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends. Hardcore.
Bardock could fly, move faster than light, and was naturally adept in using his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw-you nature.
They did give him Super Saiyan. Damn. I said, ooh, it says Great Ape and Super Saiyan. Yeah, it's raps. I said, because Mark Grayson can't even beat a Super Saiyan. I said in my analysis of that last video, he barely got through the Saiyan saga to defeat Nappa and Vegeta. So, yeah, I said this one's easy. I said Bardock turns Super Saiyan, Bardock beats Omni-Man. That's my guess.
Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit cannon is like a ki-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next guy. All in a day's work for a Saiyan.
Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Gine, in fact being one of few Saiyans of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key to their planetary devastation.
Big Boogie!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. Quick, someone call Yajirobe!
While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth. Prince Vegeta's control is so precise he can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's
Oh, so Bardock is a monkey.
questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full-tilt gorilla. The Saiyan strategy is pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Despite being low-class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Yeah, we know power levels are kinda janky.
It says Vegeta's power level of 18,000 in the Saiyan saga, having long surpassed King Vegeta's, supports the dub's claim. Bardock also survived a one-sided fight with Dodoria, whose power level was 22,000.
Nobody can agree on what the number really means.
Outside of his fight with Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Thank you.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level? It's over 8,000.
Boo!
Yeah, the dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According to this movie pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000. This lines up with that previous reading and puts him on par
Bro, I don't give a... It's over 9,000!
with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star, which is impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside Earth's quadrant of the universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey. Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed of light.
And Goku would have had to keep
Fuck.
up with that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes sense given far weaker
Wait, one of the strongest Saiyans of his time, held off an attack by thousands of elite soldiers, conquered many planets, including Kansasa and the planet Kanasa and planet Serial, gained future sight from Tulu, saved Goku from Frieza's extermination, defeated Team Dodoria, chilled Gas.
characters could reach the moon in a fraction of a second. Should be trivial enough for Bardock.
All this speed and power meant when Bardock and his team assaulted the planet Serial, they went cheerio.
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating its people. until he found two survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity, but Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the two, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from.
It says, the heaters and gas were comparable to elite Frieza soldiers such as Zarbon or the Ginyu Force. Bardock's mid-battle strength was also compared to Great Ape, implying a ×10 boost. Okay.
His own Frieza Force allies, who taunted that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans' future.
This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all the Saiyans were called back to planet Vegeta for mysterious reasons, he had a hunch something was up. So, before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with the Tyrant, he sent his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey, that's what good parents do.
I said, Goku has never, or Vegeta have never thought to bring back any of the Saiyans. We have Super Dragon Balls. I think the Namek Dragon Balls can do it at this point. Never thought once to bring back the Saiyans.
Choice that would have a greater significance than Bardock could ever imagine.
And then Dildo Dickhead blew them all up and he died. Or did he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
I do remember this. Is this a part of the canon?
Actually, he was pulled.
It says Bardock briefly survived Frieza's supernova attack in this continuity, an attack with a yield of 20 quintatons of TNT. As Super Saiyan, he'd also scale above Saiyan Saga Vegeta, whose destruction of Arlia equaled 4.5 quintatons.
All the way by these two, who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon, whatever. He survived. And when he realized what happened, he got so unbelievably pissed off, he went Super Saiyan. What?
Alright, this is very much an alternate universe what-if scenario, and it is jarring, but think about it.
You see what I'm saying? Alternate universe what if?
The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, failure, love, and loss. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own. But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what-if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn, pour one out for Bardock, who figured out how to be the truest Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
I said, the real Saiyan. But I said, that just determines it. Super Saiyans got it. There's no version of any Viltrumite that can destroy a Super Saiyan. And I'm calling it now. Let's see if I'm right.
Hey, shout out to everyone. This Meagle with Blaze. Let's touch knee. 20 off. Fans.
Through all possibility.
I said, all right, let's see.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
All right, I said, just the fact off of Super Saiyan, it gives him the edge.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
Ooh.
This planet isn't anyone's to conquer.
Don't underestimate me!
Let's go then. Let's show me something then, Bardock.
Just like my son, sticking his nose in places he's not right.
My sons would kick his ass!
Y'all ride Bardock's meat too much, by the way. Ooh!
Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Show me something then, Bardock. Hello,
Am I
monkey.
supposed to be impressed?
fact that he can still move the same in his monkey form is crazy. Ooh. Boo. Boo. I don't think that he would have been strong enough to just rip his fucking tail off.
Shit. No. My sons. Leave me. I won't let you take me from my wall.
Show me something. Show me something, Bardock. This is so fucking teed.
Is up.
What?
You said Saiyan. Remember it. Fuck.
What? Fuck! I didn't. What the fuck? Boy, fuck no. Nigga, what? Boy, fuck no. Boy, I said this is the most motherfucking biased I've like. You can tell when niggas don't like Dragon Ball Z. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Hey, yo. There's no way that there are any strength feats that are surpassing Super Saiyan. Like, they could blow up planets. What? He could blow up the planet. What? Oh my gosh. You mean to tell me that because if his multiplier is times 10, I'll sit here and I'll tell you why this is inaccurate. If Bardock's multiplier multiplies him times 10 from his Ozaru form, and then Super Saiyan is multiplying his base form, like, bro, come on. He can blow up planets in his base form. Vegeta blew up, King Vegeta blew up 3-4 planets. It took 3 Viltrumites to blow up. This might be the last one for today. These are pissing me off, bro.
Oh, okay, these Gokus have got to stop picking fights with guys in capes.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Let's be fucking for real. Okay, so speed, Omni-Man takes the speed factor, no difficulty.
With speed. Bardock is much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times light speed, much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan and
I said, do you see what I'm saying?
it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage.
How does Bardock get the speed advantage?
But super speed, much high power level matched Goku dodging asteroids
Is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
starting with speed. Bardock is much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times light speed.
Okay.
Much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan,
Okay, the 50 times multiplier. Do you see what I'm saying?
and it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage, but strength and durability are another story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales to King Veggie, who wrecked 3 planets at once, and Omni-Man only smashed 1.
Okay, so if Bardock scales the King Vegeta and Super Saiyan is a times 50 multiplier, that means that his power level was anywhere to like 10,000, 500,000.
But given how big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar. Until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
It says we now have a list of weapons and beings that can hurt a Viltrumite, things that will become very valuable. What the fuck is he talking about?
Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
What do you mean? It says right here, it says we now have a list of weapons and beings that can hurt a Viltrumite, things that will become very valuable to the coalition of planets. It's what the fuck are they talking about?
So, when their ship's cannon obliterated this gigantic solar disk, it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disk completely blocked the sunlight and heat between a planet and its star, and this is no ordinary planet.
The cannon that destroyed the disk has a smaller diameter than the body of a Viltrumite, so the blast large surface area at a distance would not impact scaling. Conquest also destroyed the ship later, despite the fact that it can withstand its own firepower, again cementing Viltrumite superior to it.
Its size and density are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light to such a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disk would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted view between sun and satellite, and the disk itself must be about half the diameter of the star in question. This means the scaling of the disk puts it at 3
Weapons that can kill Viltrumites, such as the Infinity Ray, have greater feats like causing supernovas. This also applies to Viltrum's destruction, which could have been deadly due to the core's heat, the Infinity Ray, and the speed of impact.
septillion tons.
That's 24 zeros!
Which makes Omni-Man over 11,000 times stronger than base Bardock.
Not
Oh my god. What the? Okay. Whatever. This is so fucking stupid.
even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference. So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility and combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Omni-Man survives in space for much longer, but Bardock barely squeaks out the edge here thanks to his ranged versatility with key attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing. It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all. However, even with the form included, Nolan still takes this.
This is so fucking stupid. No, I disagree. You're wrong. There is no, like, if they could have just left it without Super Saiyan. That makes no sense. The scaling, like, the strength, that's durability. Like, you're talking about strength like it's fucking durability. Like, come on.
Especially when it comes to our last two categories, experience and stamina.
Yep.
Yeah, stamina. The fucking Viltrumites don't get tired.
Omni-Man's been around a lot longer than Bardock, over 2,000 years, and even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form...
Regardless of Bardock's own endurance, even with his tail, the Super Saiyan form requires extensive training to improve its power and efficiency.
The form drains the user's energies at an increased rate, which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Saiyans like Bardock can fight for days on end, but only for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy speed and power made him a real challenge.
But Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable and unshakable force that would inevitably land the killing blow.
When push came to shove, Omni-Man raised the bar. Duck.
I disagree. I fucking disagree. I disagree. I don't give a fuck what explanations that they gave. I disagree. Y'all can check out my how far Invincible gets scaled to the Invincible universe, or how well Invincible does compared to the other characters in the show of Dragon Ball, but disagree. They're wrong. I don't agree with this one. So
shame me? Y'all niggas can't shame me. Y'all don't know I don't give a fuck already. Y'all can't shame my nigga. Y'all got me fucked up.
What's your name?